Hey Facebook, this is Andrew Benton, Benton's Maintenance and Mechanical. I want to talk to y'all about a little addiction that I have. I am addicted to efficiency, and I'm going to give y'all a couple pointers on how to lower your electricity bills, how to make your house cool better, and how to save the environment basically. The first thing I want to talk about is number one on efficiency of your house as far as your air conditioning, and that number one is insulation, and how well your house is sealed. You can't normally do anything about the insulation that's in your walls unless you're doing a remodeling. If you're doing remodeling, definitely take care of it, but you can do something about insulation that's in your attic. About 75% of the houses that I go and do air conditioning work on, or just crawl around in the attic doing electrical work, they're not insulated very well at all, and they're losing a ton of money on literally going right out the roof. So the first thing is attic insulation. A little rule of thumb: if your insulation is only coming up to the rafters in your attic, you're under insulated. Normally, I like to go at least 10 to 12 inches over your rafters with either blown in fiberglass insulation or blown in cellulose, which is basically shredded newspaper. That's number one. When you're doing that, make sure, if you do it yourself, make sure that you're adding what they call baffles, and that allows the heat to come up through the soffits of the roof and go up in your attic. And then also you need to check your soffits to make sure that they have vents in them. Either if it's vinyl wrapped, they'll have vents in them. If it's wood siding, they should have vents cut in them, either a long piece or separate little vents, and make sure that those are installed. A really good, if y'all are looking at doing a new roof, it's very important when you do your new roof to get it's very inexpensive. It's the best way you can ventilate your attic is with what's called a ventilated ridge cap, and basically at the top peak of the roof, they'll cut back the siding or they'll cut back the roof decking about an inch on each side, an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches on each side, and then they do a continuous vent down the whole roof, and heat rises, and so it comes through and ventilates the attic really well. That's the cheapest, low maintenance way to ventilate your roof, or ventilate your attic. So insulation, ventilation. Second one is a good ductwork system that doesn't have holes and that's sealed well, and we can do that here. The guy that I'll recommend normally for insulation, he can do that as well. That's number three. The fourth one is doesn't make sense, but it is the fourth one. Is an air conditioning unit. If your air conditioning unit is over 15-20 years old, it's an energy hog. It's using a lot of energy. It's probably nickel and diming you in repairs. It might not keep the house cool well. That would be the fourth thing. Go ahead, even if we put in just a base model unit now, they're way more efficient than one that's 10 or 15, 20 years old or even older. They're way more efficient. I have customers tell me all the time, man, after you put my new unit in, I'm saving $175 to $100 a month on their electricity bill, which is crazy. It's really good. So a new air conditioning unit is key. Number five, it's a smaller thing, but LED light bulbs. If you convert your house over to all LED, first of all, you won't have to change the bulbs as much. Second of all, the bulbs do not put off as much heat, and they put off less heat, so there's less heat to pull out with your air conditioning unit. And that can be easily done. If they're screw-in light bulbs, you can do them yourself. They're real simple. Can lights, they're also real simple. But we retrofit. We can pretty much retrofit anything you want to LED, under cabinet lights, the 4-foot float fixtures. You know how when they eventually get to where only 2 of them will come on, or they'll be slow to come on, you got to turn them on and off a bunch. We can really cheaply retrofit those fixtures. That means take out the old setup and put in LED. They last forever, 5 years. They got a 5-year warranty on them. They burn really cool, and they put out a whole lot more light as well, which is really nice. So that's just a little video I got. I'm going to show y'all around a few things at my house that I've done to improve it. We have about an 1,800 square foot house built in the 70s, and I've been constantly looking at getting it more efficient. And so I'll show y'all a few things that we ended up doing to our house. We added these vents. These are our soffit vents. and we did that. That was one of the first things we did when we were painting the outside of the house, was add the vents. There's my assistant there, Mr. Weston. We sealed around our windows, caulked all the way around all of our windows. Let's see, we put in a new air conditioning system. This is actually just a base model. It's not really crazy efficient. It's just a base model. This is not the brand that I normally sell, but I ended up getting a good deal on it, and so I got it. Next we're gonna go in the attic. That's why I said the attic is key. The attic is key. It's the most important part. It's a cool attic and well insulated. So when I was here, when we first moved in, we barely had any insulation over the rafters. We just had regular roll insulation. And so I came in and blew in cellulose. It starts out at a higher, and then it packs, and it still insulates really, really well. Also added, I don't know if you can see them, but I added baffles, those baffles to bring the heat up through past the insulation. And then I added, this is not the most efficient. Eventually I'm going to do a ridge vent like I was telling you about, but this is a gable fan. This is the second best way to ventilate an attic. They last a long time. They last 5 to 10 years, and they're thermostatically controlled. That means they come on when it's hot and turn off when it's cool. And so I added a gable fan over there, and then my attic stays very cool. Stays really cool. So we did a really good sealed ductwork system. I added another return. You cannot have enough return in your air conditioning unit. Most houses are undersized for the return. They don't have enough. I'm gonna show you another cool thing that I have on my unit. I'm not much for changing air filters. I don't ever remember it. And this is what's called an April Air. This is an old model. This was old. I actually took it off of a unit. A customer of mine that we were changing it out, and they wanted a new one. And this air filter, you can see I wrote on there, I got to change it next month. It lasts a full year, and it's a 5-inch filter media, so it's a 5-inch filter. It lasts a full year, and it cleans the air very well. My unit is spotless on the inside, and we cut down a lot on our dirt, and we don't have barely any problems with allergies in our house because of that 5-inch filter media. So that's a few tips that I was going to tell you about. We have a 1,800 square foot house, and our electricity bill we're primarily electric. Our electricity bill never really gets over $100, and we can run our air conditioning down to whatever we want. I'm a very hot-natured person. If some of my customers know that, but I'm a very hot-natured person, so I like my air to be down nice and cold. And so for $100 a month, we can run our air down to whatever we'd like, and it gets there, and it runs really well. So, Andrew Benton, Benton's Maintenance Mechanical.